Ladies and gentlemen, it is the start of Open Master League as well as the continuation of Summer Cup. Yeah, that's the name of it. Summer Cup Great League. And yeah, you guys know I have a team that I really love to play in Open Master League. And if you're new to the channel, then maybe you don't know. But yeah, I really like to play the Zacian Dialga Yveltal line. I've been playing it for like 10 seasons, however long I've had these XLs. So I kind of, if you guys know my mentality, it's kind of make a team, stick with it. You guys know that hopefully from the Hypno Double Dark days or the Hypno Scrafty whatever days. And I've been playing this team forever, and at the start of level 50 Mon, maybe not at the start, but whenever I got the Zacian, I have been playing this team to avoid making more XLs, especially at the time, and even in the next 5-6 seasons after that, just to save on the Stardust and basically hope that this team was an evergreen team, as they say, a team that'll last forever. And it has been very good, and up until about 3 seasons ago, it's always been one of the top tier teams in the meta. It still is, but it used to as well. But no, with the advent of Zygarde, it has become weaker for sure. And then that's when it got weaker. And then I think 2 seasons after, people started really getting Zygarde to level 50. Landorus Theron form got the buff for Sandsear Storm. And Landorus Theron form was always very difficult for this team. It resists everything Zacian does. It throws super effective into Dialga and into Yveltal. So it was always tough for this team, but there wasn't that many around. And now it's probably second or third most used Mon, definitely behind Palkia Origin Form, and probably behind the Dialga Origin Form too. So it's close there though. So yeah, so in the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons, there have been 2 big changes that have caused this team to become a little more fringe. You definitely don't see mirrors that often anymore, but I still love this team. You have play against those teams, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into the battles. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get into this. Groudon lead was always one of the harder leads for this team. Really your only true answer is Yveltal, so I do like to go for the close combat in the beginning and then switch to Yveltal, see what they switch into. The good thing, well, very weird switch to go into a Psychic, into a Dark type. We double resist Psychic damage, but the good thing is you really don't see Groudon too much. The Landorus is just the better ground type Mon. It has better subtyping, has better moves. While Precipice Blade basically like one-shots everything in this cup, it, I don't know, it really just doesn't do as much. The Fire Punch not as good. Maybe if it had, dude, if it had Sandsear Storm, that'd be crazy. I don't think it can get that in the main series games. Anyways, we easily won the switch. We have a shield advantage because of the Groudon hit. And then I'm basically just like, I can go 2 shields into the Groudon there. And I always go up to the Focus Blast on the first one. The second one I didn't, but the first one I did. No, I went up on both actually. But we got 1 shield, and we did a lot of damage as well. And then I'm basically going to go into the 2 shields with Dialga here. They are close to a second move, I think. But luckily, they do switch into this. I'm just going to double shield. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. We decided to go all in on Zacian. My bad. I knew we were going all in on something. So we end up taking all the energy away from this Groudon, and now the unfortunate thing is I do have to shield the Fire Punches because I'm super low, so I decided to just throw right away and figure that my double resistance onto the Dragon Breath is going to be enough for me to get to this next close combat, even though we are two times defense debuffed because of throwing either of these moves for the Zacian. I really like going for the double nuke move set rather than the Play Rough, and while there are points where Play Rough would be better, like this matchup, Play Rough probably would be a lot better. I can one-shot the Yveltal, but it's fine. This one's not that bad, but there are some where you really want it, but it's okay. I'd rather win. How do I tell my students? I am taking percent risks by running a certain moveset, and I believe that the percentages are in my favor to win more with this moveset than the other moveset, even though you could win some certain battles with another moveset. So that's the way I like to play it. I have always run this moveset with the Zacian in the front, so I can't say that I've necessarily tried much else, but at times you do want it. So something like maybe a Giratina lead, which usually are pretty hard because Giratina runs with steals in the back, and even Landorus sometimes now. It's fine to lose some games with RPS, right? As long as you're hopefully winning more battles based on other factors. So, all right, they do come in, or we come in with the Yveltal into the Groudon. So this is where we do want to see it. I am very surprised, I think in my first 3 battles, to run into, or is this the second battle? I think this is actually the second battle. To run into 2 Groudons is pretty crazy. Yeah. Luckily, there is a Dragonite here, which is very hard countered by the Zacian. While I am getting lower on HP here, and I'm now 4 times reduced in defense, it's perfectly okay to do that, and I do switch into this Dragonite. There was a little, or no, I'm not Dragonite, Dialga. There was a little bit of HP on the Dragonite. I just wanted to snipe that HP down because I believe they're out of move. Okay, Solgaleo lead, horrific for me, obviously. This is a Mon that's very tough for our team. We really want Yveltal on it. I go up to full energy because I want there to be a chance that I can get to the 3 moves, the 3 close combats. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to get to 3 close combats, but I do get to 2 pretty easily here. And we end up actually KOing it. So apparently Zacian winning that matchup. I don't know that they are fully excelled. It's been a while since I looked at the Solgaleo CP stats, so they switch into Groudon here, and I'm just like, okay. Wait, is this the 3rd Groudon? Wait, it's the 3rd Groudon in 3 games. Insane. Unfortunately, in my first set, I didn't get to play the first game because I already had a win from carrying over from the day before. And I guess I just didn't finish that set out. I probably just got busy with work or something. Because usually I try to bank a set for the next day, and I guess I just didn't even bank it. Didn't even look back at the game to see if I had done that or not, which happens. It's fine. I know I could take another Fire Punch, so I'm going to go for another Snarl after this. I'm just trying to get as much energy as possible. I don't want them to catch, though. They did switch a while ago, but at the same time, I do want to throw a move into... I do want to throw a, what's it called? A Dark Pulse. Oh, they end up shielding. I guess we'll just go all in on Dialga here, farm this down. The best thing it can get to is a Fire Punch, but I don't even think it can get to that. Oh, yeah, it was the Mewtwo, right? Shadow. I'll just shield everything here. This could be the Shadow Ball. I don't think it could be much else. I guess it could be a Psy Strike. What I mean by much else, I mean another move like Ice Punch or Ice Beam or Focus Blast or something that really scares me. But Shadow Ball from a Shadow Mewtwo does scare me. Zygarde. So obviously this is a really good lead. Kind of. We have a Fairy into a Dragon, and he's throwing Dragon moves. Unfortunately, they do CMP me here. They play this really well, actually. Yeah, another XL-Mon that is best buddied as well. That's pretty nice. We don't have a Zygarde. We might not ever get one, but I think I'm going to switch eventually to go into Yveltal. All 3 of my Mon are decently good against the Zygarde. So I just want to get some extra energy. I believe this is a Crunch. There's no way... I mean, it could be an Earthquake is what I assume their other moveset is, but I believe it also learns Outrage. So they come into the Xerneas really late here. One thing to note is Yveltal does win CMP against Xerneas, and Oblivion Wing does a little bit more than half. So I go for CMP here, and then I'm like, I probably can CMP to the next move as well, which means I probably can get another shield if I shield here, because they switched in so late, and Moonblast... Oh, this is a different game than I remember. Okay. I did play these games yesterday at 3, just past the... just when the league switched over, so it has been a long time since I played these games, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't remember exactly the things that happened. I'm getting confused, obviously, with another game, but I did play 4 sets, I believe, with this team before I had company over, usually on Friday. Yeah, I think you guys have maybe noticed on Saturdays I don't get a video out until later in the day, because on Friday I usually have people over, and yeah, I can't make a video on Friday usually, so... for Saturday morning, rather. They come back in with Kyogre. We're just going to go up to double Iron Head and then throw back to back. We can outpace for sure. They switch from Palkia into Mewtwo. This is a pretty known team, at least from here. Sometimes it's Landorus in the back, sometimes it is Solgaleo. Those are the best choices to go with Palkia. Some other choices could be something like... Oop, missed one of the edits here. Some other choice could be something like Origin Form Dialga or something like that. So, alright, I guess we'll just run with it. I don't usually show the middle part. I guess I missed something on the edit. But we get into another Palkia here. They go right into Xerneas. Xerneas is a hard matchup for this team as well. I do like to stay in the Zacian matchup. I don't know why I let them throw first, but it's fine. We didn't really lose out on any energy, but usually you would want to throw before them. Oh, looks like I did go slightly over 100 by one quick attack here. So a little bit of a misstep, I think, here by me. Alright, yeah, 2 wild charges will KO, and 1, 2, 3, yeah, we have really good timing here. They probably going to shield again and then go for like a close combat. If they let it go, it would be crazy, and I don't think I can contest another move here. But this is almost 100% the close combat, so now it's a question of what do I want to bring in, and I decide to go for a big farm down here from Yveltal. They have a lot of energy, so I don't want to get moonblasted. I'm perfectly fine getting close combated, and they come back in with the Palkia, and yeah, we already have a counter to that, which is why I stayed in the Zacian the whole time. Dialga obviously just hard counters Palkia here. I wasn't really counting, and they end up throwing a Spatial Rend, so it felt like they were going to be at 1, but definitely wasn't counting at this point. I think they're going to come back in with Xerneas, and we can go just for the move here. I don't want to play around. I have a lot of energy, and I don't have to really risk anything here, so I can give myself a good chance with 2 Mon against whatever's in the back. Against the Landorus, I probably get to this Iron Head, which is going to do a lot of damage. We're definitely just going to let them Sandsear Storm us and come in Yveltal, and I'm going to move away, so I just come in. And a good thing to note in the Landorus matchup, and it might come up later. Actually, it might come up later, so we'll talk about it whenever it comes up. But the point is, you're not really afraid too much of the Landorus with the Yveltal. Alright, Palkia. Into Yveltal. Okay, here. You knew it was going to come up eventually. This is a very picked Mon. So you can always just let them hit you once. They're hitting you with ground moves besides the Stone Edge, so you're not really too scared of any of that. I go for the Dark Pulse here, even though the Oblivion Wing does more, just because I want to hide that second moveset in case he lets me win this matchup. And this is a Sandsear Storm. If you're counting, they're at 12. And that means it's not going to even be close. And then I just go for the Oblivion Wing because they can actually farm me down from here. So that is something to note. Maybe with Best Buddy, you actually probably live this farm down and they get to throw something. But we have our Best Buddy on Dialga because it does get a breakpoint against the other Dialgas, which is a pretty good thing to have. We can take 2 moves here. I just had to shield just to conserve a little bit of HP onto the Zacian, and then I'm going to go for the farm down. And I can throw a move even though I'm double resisted. So I do decide to throw this the Wild Charge into the Ho-Oh. They do end up shielding. I switch because I'm already reduced in damage, and I kind of already got the full limit of what Zacian can get off this, which is a shield basically. And I don't want to get oh, they actually go for the Brave Bird. That's interesting. So I want to go as much energy as I can, but then I also just want to get rid of this, and I don't want to go too low that they can farm me down. So they have to throw a move at this, which means they're going to use energy, and they don't have enough. Their moves cost too much for them to get to 2 moves and throw a back-to-back. So Brave Bird is their least costing move, and you cannot do that with a Brave Bird. So I'm already out of move on Zacian, so I know that I can just go for the big move here, and that's that. All right, Giratina, Altered Form. Pretty tough for the Zacian in the lead without Play Rough, right? So I need to get shield advantage, or I need to win switch. I think this is the Xerneas I was thinking about, and they also go for a CMP on the second move. So we're going to get a shield here, and I probably can go for a shield and outpace. Not outpace, but pace exactly the same, and we win CMP. So that's what I'm going to go for here. I need some sort of advantage. I'm fine with just a 1 shield advantage. I don't want to risk too much here because they can at the end of the day go for like a close combat right here, and that would screw me if I try to shield a close combat, because then they would be outpacing to another close combat. They do go for the Moonblast, and I'm fine. We did what we wanted to do here. I think this is where I messed up on the Zacian farming. I could have just thrown a move. I could have just... I'm trying to like think about farming this down, but then I know I can't, so I go for basically a move here. And I'm going to go one more to make sure that I have the Wild Charge. Or I'll just throw the Wild Charge, to be honest. Yeah. I want to make sure I have it. And whatever they throw here, I'm not shielding. The worst it can be is Shadow Sneak, and it is the worst thing it could have been. And this is Gyarados, and I don't count here. This is definitely an Aqua Tail. The problem with this matchup is I have to throw a Draco Meteor, which is going to lower my attack against the Giratina, but I need to be doing as much damage as I can to this Giratina. If I can get an Iron Head off, I'm thinking maybe the Wild Charge is going to be enough to KO. And I know Switch is getting close too. I really want to switch and give myself more Dragon Breath damage later with the Dialga against this Giratina, since I reduced my own attack with the Draco Meteor. They do throw before I get to another move, but this also kind of has to be Shadow Sneak because Dragon Claw is double resisted, and we do end up being able to farm down this Giratina. All right, Origin Form Dialga. This is a much harder matchup than the Alter Form Dialga is for the Zacian, because you can win in any shield scenarios where you can eventually even get to a farm down in the 2s. But I like to play this out kind of this way. He threw right when he got to the Iron Head, so I can go for maximum energy. Well, you can always go for maximum energy, but you're not going to get tricked by anything, so I go all the way up to where I want to go to. Right before they get to another move. If this lands, I'll probably switch into my own Dialga and try to snipe. It's kind of how I like to play some of these. This is an Iron Head no matter what. They don't have enough time to have gotten to Roar of Time. They don't have enough time to get to Roar of Time. So we end up winning Switch. They do have a Landorus. This sucks. I don't get to the Iron Head before they Sandsear Storm, but technically we do survive this. But I don't think it's going to be by enough. Yeah, I was one away, and they got to move off him. They got to fast attack in between there. And that's how it should work. So I did switch before them, so I do want to maintain. I try to get back some of that clock, which is why I wait out the timer here. Again, we're not really threatened by one Stone Edge, so we can always kind of avoid shielding in this matchup when we're at 100 HP. Even when we're at like this HP, 80%, we can still avoid. I can still take a Stone Edge here probably, but now they're more likely to throw it. I'm going to go for probably one more. They do come in with a Palkia. I do want them to throw before I debuff myself, so I need to go up to 2 moves here. And they do end up throwing, which, to be fair, I think Palkia wins CMP. I'm 99% sure. So they should really wait till I throw one move, then CMP time me, and that Aqua Tail would KO me. In saying that, what you should probably do on the Zacian is never throw until they throw. And they're more than likely going to throw at some point. I do let a little bit of extra damage come through so that they don't get that much farm, but I do have a move, and yeah, we win this one. All right, Ho-Oh lead. This is a weird lead because you actually don't do enough with the Wild Charge, but they almost always shield the first one, and it makes a lot of sense because they always go for the Sacred Fire, which has the chance to reduce my attack. And if they do end up reducing my attack, and I throw in CMP, which is terrible, by the way, but if they do reduce my attack, then this second Wild Charge actually doesn't do that much. But after this lands, and the second one always lands, I come in with the Dialga and try to go for a farm down before they can get to a Sacred Fire. They can always get to a Brave Bird, but you do resist Brave Bird. And they come in with Palkia, which means they're super weak to Dialga in the back. And this is almost for sure an Aqua Tail. That was way too fast to get to. So now I'm looking to try to maybe go for a farm down. I have a lot of energy going into this last matchup. And I can't imagine that this is not GG. Yeah, Xerneas is going to take super effective from these. Probably doesn't have to shield one of them. One never kills. But, I mean, I have 2. Yeah, it's GG for this person. He hasn't even seen my third. We still have a lot of HP on Zacian. They can't really farm down the Dialga either. So, Tyranitar. Well, this is the matchup you want to be in. It's also pretty awkward because once you start reducing your defense, these smackdowns really start to add up. The one really good thing we have going for us is that this is not a shadow. It is best buddy though, so that is something to think about as well. They do go for the bait, which makes a lot of sense. They should go for the bait because they know that we're scared, and yeah, we'll see if we can make it to a close combat. We cannot, and I do have to shield now. I'm 4 times debuffed. Even a brutal swing here is going to maybe even KO. They come in with Ho-Oh, and I want to bring in Dialga because it feels like Dialga is not going to be great in the back, but it could also be something like Kyogre, which is pretty... That team's kind of known, but I figure my Yveltal is not going to have any play against this Tyranitar, so maybe just kind of sacrifice it into the Ho-Oh matchup. Maybe I should have let them get a move off, but it's so... Yveltal is kind of frail, and yeah, here I'm actually not going to be able to KO this Tyranitar, even though I'm going to get it super low. Yeah, I'm going to let Zacian just take the hit here. I'll go for the farm down on the Dialga. They already threw a move at this. I'm assuming they don't have another move, although they could. Brutal Swing is very cheap. Yeah, they do have it. Man, if this was a Shadow, it would be just wrecking my team. But it is a Kyogre in the back. A Draco will kill this. And then Tyranitar doesn't have that much HP. We do resist the Smackdowns. They definitely don't have another move. They've thrown 4 moves in this game, and Smackdown not exactly the best energy generation moves, so they're definitely fully out of energy on the Tyranitar, so I just go straight for the Draco, and I go for the farm down, and that'll be GG. Alright, Xerneas lead. So I like to go up to 10 wild charges. Sometimes I just let them throw the first move as well, which would be bad timing for me. Actually, it's okay timing here, because we are... one move away from 100 energy. Yeah, so actually this ended up being perfect. I like to go for, again, double wild charge will KO. So I say I like to go for it. It's the only thing to go for. They have the fast attack Geomancy, which is a high energy generation move, but not a lot of... I was hoping to get to that wild charge because I do want to just have this into the Dialga matchup, and I decided to just go for the Iron Head here. They know I'm going Iron Head just to do a little bit of damage, and then I'm going to switch to Yveltal. Yveltal is kind of useless, and Dialga's kind of everything, so I'm going to let Yveltal do as much damage as it can, and it'll be fine either way here. But yeah, I know Dialga is the only thing I have that's really good against Kyogre. So I just stayed in that. I usually would swap out of the Zacian and save all that energy because that is a lot of energy to have lost. But no, it's okay to let that go to move my Dialga into the best position for their Kyogre. And then here it's fine. I'll just shield everything and go for double Iron Head at this point. You definitely need to shield. The Surfs are we're almost actually in KO range of Surf. So now we're probably in KO range. And yeah, I'm just going to go for double Iron Head, and that's going to be GG. Even though Iron Head is resisted, obviously they're taking a ton of damage from these Dragon Breaths, and they just don't have enough energy to hang on, or enough HP to hang on to this matchup. Oops. I don't know why I just didn't throw right away there. Maybe I'm afraid that it's not enough damage, so I wanted to get a little bit of extra Dragon Breath damage into that. Giratina Origin Form is one of the hardest leads. Togekiss, obviously this is not great for me. Although some Togekiss, that if you have enough energy lead, you can go double Oblivion Wing and maybe get the kill. And maybe this Togekiss is not fully level 50 because I actually am able to get this farm down. They should have just gone for... They could have actually KO'd me if they just went for the straight charm down. That's what it was. So a little bit of misplay by the opponent. I end up getting winning switch, and then they just leave. All right. So if you're in that Togekiss matchup as the Togekiss, just go for the straight farm down. Or if you didn't allow them to get too much of an energy lead, you can actually go for maybe just going for the shield is safest, right? I don't know. Haven't played that matchup too much, but I think you can just farm down, especially if you go for the one shield. And even in the zero shield, it looked like the farm down was imminent. All right, thank you so much for watching. And so thank you. Actually, let's just start over. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. It's been amazing Y'all are amazing. This YouTube journey has been kind of crazy. Yeah, and we're on the road. We just hit 7,000 subs. So we're on the very, very long road to 10K. I know that's very far away, but that is a definite goal of mine. And yeah, y'all are helping me so much in trying to achieve that. So thank you. And if you like this video, hit the like. If you want to see more videos of this kind, definitely hit the subscribe button. I will say during Master League, I hope to play this team a bit more. I'll play a couple more Master League teams, and I'll still continue to put out some Summer Cup games. There's definitely a team that I have finished the editing for. I actually finished it like 4 days ago, but I never did the voiceover. So I will do that hopefully as soon as I can. And someone also has submitted a team. I have not forgotten about you. I also edited that, but I have not done the voiceover. So hopefully I have some time today to try to get those videos out. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.